Meanwhile, over at the National Assembly, lawmakers have voted to toughen the punishments for infanticide and the abandonment of infants. This may mean that those who commit such crimes could receive up to life in prison or the death penalty. Our political correspondent Lee Shi-hoo reports.
South Korea's National Assembly at its plenary session on Tuesday passed a bill to toughen punishments for infanticide and infant abandonment. The revision seeks to abolish the lesser punishments outlined by the Criminal Act and instead apply the same degree of punishment as murder and abandonment of non-infants. This revision passed the Assembly with 252 approvals and 8 abstentions among 260 lawmakers present. According to the current Criminal Act, those who commit murder against non-infants can receive up to life in prison or even the death penalty. But infanticide currently only carries a punishment of up to 10 years in prison if the crimes are committed in order to, quote, avoid disgrace or for fear of not being able to bring the baby up or for some other extenuating motive. For the abandonment of non-infants, it's up to 3 years in prison. For the same crime committed against infants, only up to 2 years. These articles were included in the Criminal Act back in 1953 when it was first enacted to take into consideration the situations some parents may have found themselves in. But the recent infanticide cases of unregistered babies have instigated public uproar and eventually led to the revision to the part of the act. The revision was brought to the plenary session after passing the Legislation and Judiciary Committee on Monday.
Removing the reduced penalties for crimes against infants for the first time in 70 years would closely protect the infant's right to life.
Now the passed revision is expected to be promulgated at the cabinet meeting in the near future to be enacted 6 months after. The parliament last month passed a bill requiring hospitals to report the birth of newborns to a government agency to prevent abuse of unregistered children. It's also discussing measures to give the option of anonymous births to prevent mothers from giving birth outside of hospitals due to the new registration requirement. Also at Tuesday's session, the Assembly passed a bill approving the appointments of Supreme Court Justice nominees Kwon Young-jun and Seo Kyung-won. Lee Shi-hoo, Arirang News.